Well, hello there, listeners. Welcome back to another episode of A Dicey Experience. My name is Jason Sketch, and we're very glad to have you all here this evening. It's going to be a blast and an exciting time for you all as we dive into this old-timey story and tales of a pirate escape. First and foremost, though, we want to introduce our cast to you, so we want to first and foremost bring out the wonderful and amazing Stolen.
Hey, guys. It's Stolen, everybody's favorite warlike Tortle crew, and I'm here to blow things up.
Following behind him and super excited, wearing his cooktop in today, is Meerkat.
Hey guys, this is Meerkat playing Lucas, the favorite of the stream.
And last, but certainly not least, we have Lazy Matt. Wait, hold on, I'm getting a note right now, ladies and gentlemen. Give me one quick second as I'm thumbing through this note and reading ahead of it. What's this? Oh, what? He's sick, he's not available. Oh, dying, you say. Oh, that's just terrible news, terrible. Well, good news, folks. Lazy Man Gamer is sick and out for this evening, but we do have a new cast member that'll be joining us for this evening. Well, it is our good friend, Mean Green Gamer. Please stop interrupting the announcer.
All right, guys, it's Mean Green, the voice of the guest appearance character, Lord Clark Coldwater. Tonight, coming to you to play Arlo Legolo. Glad to be here.
Well, folks, it's been an exciting adventure so far. Our party has been traveling through the open seas and have made their way to town of Tortoon, only to discover that everything has changed. Upon arrival, they've gotten into a small argument with their boy crew and have decided that they're going to have to trust him for a little bit, but they're not quite sure if they're ready to just yet. They're getting ready to go into a large, crazy factory to save some of their teammates. But to get there, they must travel through the sewers. Is that about right? Am I missing anything else?
That's about right.
And so we'll begin this episode with crew opening that manhole and our good boy Lucas just watching the manhole opening, and Jean just kind of slides on in. What do you guys do?
Crew's just gonna step in and drop down, try and make as little noise as possible as he hits the ground.
When you open it up, it's a long way down, so you look, and it's going to be a good 60, 80 feet down. You're going to have to climb down the ladder.
Okay, I'll climb down the ladder. I can see because of my devil sight.
Okay. Perfect. Mr. Lucas?
Yes, I'll look down the sewer, great, and go, oh, it stinks. Tell me what you see down there. I don't want to come down if it's all for nothing.
Do I see anything?
Yeah, it is a large cistern, and so it's definitely a long tube to be able to get down through. It's kind of a tight fit for your shell there, but there is definitely some ick and gunk along the wall. The metal ladder that you're climbing down is slick and wet. You're not sure what kind of precipitation is on this ladder, but you're praying that it's not urine. As you get closer to the bottom, though, it looks like there is a channel that carries a greenish liquid. It seems to be traveling towards the ocean. But there's also walkways along the sides, which Jean seems to be kind of straddling the two ends. I'm trying to decide which side that he should be standing on there at the bottom. Once you get towards the bottom, though, you know that you can probably either walk in a single file line on the right or on the left side of this channel.
And I'm assuming going against the water is going back in towards town, like towards the factory or something like that.
Yes, and yeah, you would know this from having lived there before. It's interesting to you because as much as the surface has changed, it seems like the sewers below have not.
Everything seems clear down here. Just word of advice, don't smell your hands after you get off that ladder.
Okay. And I'll take a quick look around and make sure nobody's watching us go in, and then I'll slowly lower myself onto the ladder and close the grate behind me.
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
11.
11, okay. Yeah, you're looking around. It doesn't seem like anybody's paying attention to what you're doing. Like we said, it's right around nightfall, so it seems like everybody's gone in to go do dinner. So you guys kind of picked the right time to be going into the manhole.
Let's start climbing down.
As you're watching Lucas climb down, it's taking him a little bit longer than the rest of you guys, with it being a smelly and icky kind of a thing. You begin to daydream a little bit through, and we watch as the camera goes towards your face, and we see the ripples go around your mind, and we travel back in time a little bit. This is the day that you stole your first MacGuffin without the help of the admins. Where were you when the day started?
First question, what's a MacGuffin?
A MacGuffin, and this is me listening to a lot of the Golden Vault stuff that they've been doing for D&D. Essentially, it's an item that is kind of a high value, and it's the thing that you're going after, the thing that you're going to go like steal from a building or a place or a pirate ship or whatever, that has value essentially for the person you're stealing it for, but not necessarily as a magic item or as an item of importance to you. It is the item that you're going in to steal. So if you know, it could be anything like a painting like the Mona Lisa to a specific pencil that only so-and-so's grandfather ever used, and it's on a pirate ship right now, and you must go bring it back. This is a MacGuffin that essentially, you know, to be able to rank up, you've got to be able to steal things from pirate ships in this Chaos Clan organization. And you've been doing this off and on with V kind of giving you instructions along the way. But now you are going to be sent off with 2 other youngsters in this crew, or clan, excuse me. And you have to do this on your own without the help of the admins. Knowing that this day is coming up and you haven't quite met the other 2 just yet, you may have seen them in passing, or you know or have heard about them. Where were you when this day began?
The crew typically started his day in the Shark's Head, sleeping off the hangover from the night before.
What did the room look like that you were in?
Very dark, very dingy. One single window off to the side, but it had heavy curtain in front of it. So barely any daylight, if any, came through. Dusty, just a bunch of blankets piled up in one corner that crew used to sleep on or cover up with. There wasn't any furniture except for one chair, and that's typically where he would throw any discarded clothing or sometimes throw his ring over there.
It feels very much kind of like what Aladdin sleeps in the Aladdin movie.
Very much, but dirty.
But dirty, okay. So you got like a curtain that goes over the window, but not necessarily glass that goes in the window. Wonderful, yeah. The sunlight's coming through. The wooden floors is kind of cold below your feet. What do you do?
Oh, this headache. I really need to stop letting Thane talk me into drinking that much. Get up, just kind of wander over to my chair, grab my ring, and slip it onto my hand, and then start heading out the door to head down into the bar.
When you go to open the door, I need you to make me a strength check.
Did they lock me in again? That's a 20.
Natural 20?
No, 19 plus 1.
19 plus 1. Okay. Great. Yeah, you feel like there's something jammed against the door. So you go to make that shove, and as you do, you notice a half-orc body kind of rolls to the other side of the hallway. Meerkat, will you describe your team member for me?
Okay. My character is named Torg Wargoth. He is a half-orc. He has dark green skin. He is 6.5 feet tall. He is absolutely ripped, and he has black furs that are covering his shoulders, his legs, his arms, but he leaves a open kind of square around his midriff to show off his six-pack. And he has a great axe strapped to his back.
Awesome. Is with the Chaos Clan crew, is there a pendant or something that you guys wore to kind of recognize each other?
No, the clan itself was small enough that everybody knew who everybody was. So typically, whenever new people came into the clan, one of the admins would take them and introduce them to everybody.
Awesome. Well, this is Torg. He's for some reason he was passed out outside your door.
Torg, what are you doing?
Ugh.
That's not an answer.
What? Where am I?
So you were passed outside of my room. Were you drinking with me and Thane last night? Don't remember.
I remember drinking, and I'm gonna try and stand up.
Sure. Make me an acrobatics check.
Acrobatics. 11.
It's a little wonky. You kind of have to brace against the wall, and you kind of like slam your shoulder and just kind of push against the wall with your legs and your shoulders. You scrape against the wall to stand up.
And I just kind of wobble backwards and forwards a little bit as I stand up and put my hand to my head. Oh, I don't know if I've ever drank that much in my life.
If you're going to get sick,
Uh,
don't do it in my room.
just talking about it makes it happen.
I'm going to push him to the door next to mine.
Okay. As you do, the door swings open and a small gnomish man walks out. Mr. Mean Green, would you like to describe your character?
Yeah, sure. So out walks this gnome, and you see he is in both hands. He's got something that he's tinkering with. He's wearing kind of a blue overcoat and hood that you can tell there's something kind of concealed under. He's just kind of covered in gadgets. He wears goggles like you would expect a tinkerer to, and he's got a very impressive looking sort of rifle that kind of pulses with blue energy, and he carries kind of a special satchel that he's got ammo and stuff for that gun in. You see kind of just some odds and ends baubles hanging off of his deal. He's got a few different tool packs. You can tell that there's thieves tools. There's like lockpicks sticking out or whatever. He's got tinkerer's tools. He's got like a bellows for a fire, but it doesn't look like a normal bellows. It's got like a sort of like a Miracle Grow tank on the back that's hanging off of his vest. And so it looks like he's just got like a Boy Scout, something for everything hanging off, for every occasion hanging off of him. And he's like, "Oh, look, the drunks are up. Look, fellas, look at this thing I just made. It's so much better than that fire starter I made the other day." And he walks up to your door and he sticks this thing against the door. He's like, "Look, it's an automatic lockpick." And he turns this thing a couple of times, and you see that it goes to work, starts working. He's like, "Hold on, one second, here it is." And it just blows and falls apart. Crap. All right, back to square one. He starts picking the pieces up again. "I'm going to get it right this time."
That's what you said yesterday.
"Well, you know what? Everybody's a critic. Go drink you some more beer."
They always say the dog that bit you is always the cure, so let's go. Come on, Torg.
Yeah.
I'm gonna head downstairs.
Now we've described how the Shark's Head Inn, right?
Tavern.
Looks in the current time, but what did it used to look like? What was so marvelous about it that made crew just love being there?
I don't know if marvelous would be the word that I would use to describe it. It very much was a dive bar. Very few windows, and the ones that were broken. Basically used duct tape to cover them up and cardboard. There was one bar positioned over on one side. Everything in there was covered with a very thin layer of dust and oil. The tables and chairs and furniture that was in there were all very haphazard, missing arms, a replaced leg that doesn't match, sawdust all over the floor. Very much a dive bar that you would think of.
There's in the back table there's a couple of folks that are kind of got their hoods on and they're singing and they're slowly moving. It looks like they're at the tail end of their drinking hour. Thane himself is passed out on top of the bar. Dragonborn body just kind of sprawled all over the top of the bar. There's a few other folks that are kind of, trying to clean up a little bit. There's a fairy that just kind of is fluttering around and flying, and she drops in and, clean up a table real fast and use prestidigitation to kind of make it shine for a second, and then floats to the next table to gather up the dishes there, and kind of snaps her fingers. It looks like she's trying to clean up the mess from the night before. There's a smell coming from the kitchen as if someone's prepping some sort of food for the morning. Usually it's not that great. It's some sort of porridge of some sort. Maybe a grilled cheese if you're lucky. But, occasionally the meats come out. But usually that's when they serve them, is at nighttime when you're eating and drinking and partying.
I'm going to walk over to the bar. I'm going to grab Thane, kind of pull him into a bar chair, kind of just prop him up so that he's not sprawled across the bar anymore. 13.
Yeah, you guys see him. He's pulling on this. Well, I guess Torg sees him. I'm not sure if our young gnomish friend came down the stairs as well.
Oh yeah, I followed.
Followed, cool. So you guys are watching. He's pulling on him. She's setting him up in this chair. It's taking him a little bit longer than it probably should.
I'm going to slap him so I can wake him up.
While that's going on, Arlo will just kind of arch a judgmental eyebrow and hop up on a bar stool. Takes him a second because he's so short. But I assume we know the bartender's name as regulars?
Yes. What's his name? Drew?
Her name is Anise.
Her name is Anise.
All right. Well, as soon as Arlo can get his butt settled after he's ungracefully climbed up on this bar stool, he'll go, "Hey, Anise, you got any good grilled cheese sandwiches, or the same crap as usual?"
Oh, but let me go in the back and I can find out for you. I'm not quite sure.
That was a 5 to slap, by the way.
You whiff. It's you as you're getting ready to slap. Arlo's wiggling his way on top of that stool, and he bumps into you, and you totally miss.
I just turn around and give this very stern death glare to Arlo. Really need to watch what you're doing.
What do you need some help slapping a guy?
I mean, if you want to have the rage of Thane, go right for it.
Nah, I'll just have my grilled cheese sandwich.
Oh, very good. Well, I'll go back and see if they've got everything ready. It'll take me just a moment. And her you see, Anise, she's an old Karakakra. Her feathers are a little ruffled and poofy, but she starts hobbling her way back to the back of the kitchen, and kind of goes through a door. There's feathers that are falling behind her. She's walking, and the little fairy kind of just fuddles over there, and she picks up each feather as it falls to the ground.
As she's walking through the door to the kitchen, I'm just gonna scream, "Anise, make me my usual. I'm really need it today."
Yes, I can do that. Bacon
Thank you,
pancakes.
dear. Yes, that'll work.
Bake
Extra syrup.
bacon pancakes with sugarcane syrup. It's on its way. And she hobbles on her way back.
You're the sweetest.
Oh, you. She goes back into the kitchen.
Have y'all talked to B or Slythe today? Do y'all know what y'all's assignments are?
I haven't been given anything.
Did you have, Arlo? What are you doing today?
Oh, no, sorry, I said nah.
Must be the beer still talking.
I guess we should go ask again.
While we're waiting for Anise to come back with the food, I'm just gonna kind of scan the tavern. Do I see any of the admins besides Thane? $17.
You're looking around the room. It doesn't seem like anybody else is in the room.
You said there was some people over in the corner that were kind of just talking amongst themselves.
Yeah, they're in the corner. It looks like they've got their mugs, and one's got his arm around the other, and they're kind of, "Oh, beer is good to drink. It makes me feel so happy." This is like the third time they've gone into this verse since you've been down there.
I'm gonna just walk over to their table. Y'all realize y'all have been drinking for 24 hours straight. I think it's time to leave.
This turtle man thinks we should leave, Joey. Is that right, Mr. Turtle Man?
Because you are not helping my headache. And trust me, that is not a good thing.
Why don't you drink a beer here? We've got another one. Then one of them falls underneath the table and passes out. I think we've got another one around here somewhere. Joey's kind of skittishing. He's just running his hands through the cups that are on the table there. They're all like half drank. Some of them are empty. Some of them are tilted over. I think this one's really full. If you want to try. They pick up one and it kind of sloshes and it just spills all over the front of the table in front of you.
I'm gonna grab the mug out of his hand and just crack him over the head with it.
Very aggressive today.
16.
Yeah, that hits. You hit him hard, and he just kind of blinks for a second, and just it's almost like his body completely freezes, like it doesn't know what it's supposed to do.
Then I'm gonna grab him and the passed out one by the scruff of their shirt and just take him over to the door and throw him out.
Okay, yeah, make another strength roll. Mr. Warlock here is trying to do all these physical items.
15.
Yes, you're able to do it. It does take a while. I think in the process we see this scene and we definitely see Crew like pulling, and then he looks over and stares at Torg once or twice, and then keeps pulling, and then he looks up and stares at Torg again.
Torg, come over here and grab this passed out one, please.
Go ahead.
If I have to listen to that stupid course one more time,
I'll hop up off the floor. I've been doing push-ups the entire time that we were in there. Yeah, I'll hop up and I'll pick him up with ease and try and toss him out the door. 19.
Yeah, no problem. You lift him up almost like by the scruff of his neck, and you toss him outside the door.
Anything else?
That's it for now.
Thank God. Thank the gods for you meatheads. Those guys couldn't carry a tune in a bucket.
That is very true. I'm just gonna sit down in one of the bar stools next to Thane and wait for Anise to come back with the food.
Can I make a? I've been tinkering with my little lockpick machine this whole time. Can I make a artisan tools check to see if I've put that thing back together for another test run?
Yeah, go for it.
Sweet. Dex +2. So that's a total of 10.
It's getting there. It's not quite where it needs to be, but it's at least the pieces are back in the places they're supposed to be in.
Fair enough. Keep tinkering.
As you sit down and you're sitting next to Thane, you feel a cold hand reach over, and it leans. Your whisper kind of lean into your ear. You've got to get better about paying attention to your surroundings, Crew. Hear the sweet voice of Sylth.
I'm gonna jump. Blythe, no, I hate when you do that.
What can I say? I've got skills, and it's important that you guys start learning them.
Or maybe it's important that I just ignore you.
Wow. And he sits down on the bar stool and he puts his feet up on the bar and leans back a little bit. It's impressive because he's got the front two legs of the bar stool in the air, and the back two legs are on the ground, but he's almost got it like perfectly balanced. That's fine. You could ignore me all day long, but V sent me to give you guys an assignment, but if you guys aren't up for the task, then I'll find somebody else. It is
I'm up for the task. I'm waiting for Anise to get back with my food.
Does Syl say that in a like full volume voice?
Yeah, as he's not whispering
Okay.
or anything. He's
Okay,
just
yeah. Well, after the whisper, he actually makes that statement in the full voice. Arlo almost falls over, and he's like, "Jesus, stuff! What in the world, man? Golly, you gotta warn a brother before you walk up like that."
What can I say? I'm a smooth criminal.
You should write a song about that. I like the sound of that.
How much psychic damage did I take from that?
Wow. None. You get 2 temporary hit points because it's so smooth. Listen, it's rank up day. And lucky for you, A pirate ship just rolled into harbor.
Really? What's the deets?
Bone Raker. One of the big wigs drives this boat around. She's a herringon. Sail? Saleh? I can't quite remember. They write those names up everywhere, but I bet she's got some good items there on the ship.
They always do, but what's the one we're going after, boss?
Just need to bring back something that'll bring value to the crew. The clan. You just need to bring back something that'll bring value to the clan. Something we can put up, over the mantle over there, kind of like hanging above the fireplace.
So like a Christmas stocking?
Is that gonna bring value, you think?
Old St. Nick visits me in May.
Maybe. I'm looking for maybe something a little more shiny or, I don't know, have some magical properties to it. I don't know what she might be carrying on that boat, but I heard she turned over a whole ship the other day. Kicked off her nephew or something.
Must be cold-hearted to do that.
I guess so, but sounds like he had lots of treasures. She might have some of those fancy things on her boat still. I don't know. Sneak into her cabin, see what she's got. Maybe a nice dress or a big old fancy jewel that a giant monkey's holding.
Do we have any scouts on the ship right now?
No, not that I'm aware of. They kind of just rolled in this morning. V saw him slide in and said, "Perfect. That's exactly what we've been waiting for, to get these three all ranked up and right and whatnot."
Where is V?
She's still down at the harbor, keeping an eye on the boat, making sure things might go smoothly. But if you don't think you can handle it on your own, I'm sure we can pass the word on to her to just take care of it herself.
I don't need you to talk for me. I'll go talk to V myself.
All right, well.
I don't trust a word that comes out of your mouth, Sly.
I shouldn't trust anyone. But you gotta take these two with you. You know, it's always better if you go hunting together.
Maybe for you, since you always need backup.
I just vanish into the shadows. And with that, you watch the chair fall backwards. And it's like he does a somersault and then disappears.
Man, it gives me the heebie-jeebies when he does that crap.
I do not like that slimy guy. Denise! Where's my food?
Oh! We had to kill the pig for the waffle pancakes. It's gonna take a minute. Hold still there, Freddy. Oh, now I give him a name. I really don't want to slice his throat.
I want to say Anise is making those noises herself.
You could have just ordered a grilled cheese sandwich.
No. Today, like Sly said, today is a big day. I need that meal.
It's a coming. It's a yeah, you hear it? It's on the grill now. Hey, no, you settle down, Freddy. You take your grill in there. It might be a little fresh.
Seriously, killing it alive or cooking it alive, dude. Crew is gonna get up and walk, at least pick his head through the kitchen door.
Yeah, make a perception check for me.
Dirty 20. I'm rolling hot tonight. Jeez.
This never happens.
Oh no.
This is pre-fates. That's why.
I guess.
You're peering through, and you're pretty sure Anise is half blind. She's got the pan on top of this grill, and it's going, and there's smoke going everywhere, and there are bacon strips kind of tossed about, and she's kind of looking around, and the fairy is just poking a pig that's in a little pen close to the grill, and it squeals every once in a while, and she kind of gets into a panic and moves the bacon around.
They're gonna walk back out. There's bacon near the stove, but the pig is not on the stove. And I'm not quite sure if I have an appetite anymore, guys.
This is why they say you don't want to know how the sausage is made. Just eat it.
Torg is laying on the ground doing sit-ups now, and he has this big hunk of blackened bread that he's just chowing down on.
I'm just gonna grab a muffin from the bakery down the street on the way down to the docks.
So what's happening? We taking something?
Yeah, apparently there's a ship that pulled into dock last night. The Bone Raker. We're supposed to be getting some kind of booty off of it.
All right. Well, let's go. Check it out.
Yeah, let's get to work.
Come on, Arlo, you don't have to wait for that sandwich. I'll buy you a muffin.
Sounds like a plan to me, boss.
I'll walk out the door.
All right. It's interesting, right? Because we talked about there being large glass double doors that were pulled open by a minotaur when you leave, or when you entered and exited this building in the current time. However, when you're leaving it, it's just a giant blanket that covers the doorway, just enough to keep the sunlight out, but it's not really, anything fancy. In fact, the frame of the door is just tilted, so you have to kind of lean a little bit and duck to kind of get out of the room there. But you make your way out onto the street. It's a port town, and it's not a very big port town. Big enough that it has a name for itself and people know about it, but not big enough for the streets to really be taken care of well. Everything is just a dirt path as you're walking down the road. There's carts that kind of pass by a little bit, but nothing, nothing fancy. You don't expect to see any fancy prince riding in his cart with the white horses or anything. It's just this dude with a wagon and his wheelbarrows and different stuff. It's, nothing exciting. But you eventually do make your way down to the muffin shop. You guys go in. It's going to cost like 2 silver for you guys to get your muffins. Is there any specialty muffins that you're looking for today?
Just a blueberry.
Wonderful. Yeah, they hand you a blueberry muffin. It's run by a Weasley little old man. He kind of seems to have some sort of neurological problem that after he finishes a sentence, he kind of just snickers a little bit.
Thanks, Jar. I'll be back later.
Sounds good. You keep on a coming. I like having those nickels that you bring.
Arlo, what are you getting?
Blueberry sounds great.
I'm out of them. I got fresh mango.
Sounds good to me.
All right, you try this here mango. And he. I got a special sauce I can put on it. You want me to put a special sauce on there for you?
No, I'm good.
But it's a special good sauce.
I think mangoes are pretty good on their own.
All right. If you say so. And he pulls out the mango muffin and hands it to you.
Borg, you getting anything?
I want the biggest muffin you've got in the store.
The biggest one, you say?
Biggest.
It's gonna cost you a whole gold piece. That's more than a nickel.
Gold piece it is.
All right. And he goes in the back, and he comes back, and this is like a wedding cake sized muffin.
Oh, yeah.
It's got chocolate
Are we talking
chips.
like 3 tiers?
Yeah, 3 tiers. It's got like chocolate chips in the bottom layer. The second layer is strawberry shortcake, and then the top layer is a pineapple flavored muffin.
That's a muffin.
It's a muffin indeed. I like you, Mr. Torg. You keep coming back now. I'll hire you. I need some damn muscle.
Of course, if you keep making these for me, I'll be good.
Oh, wonderful. I like that. I like those big muscles. He hands you the
me
giant
too.
muffin.
I'm pretty sure you made old man jars a day there, Torg.
And I'm just like, to this huge muffin. You want to take a side?
I'm going to try and grab a piece of the pineapple part of it.
Yeah, you're more than capable to grab. It's good. I mean, it's actually roll. It's a good muffin. It's almost as it's not quite the McDonald's pineapple pastry things that you get for breakfast sometimes, but it's a really good muffin.
Not quite McDonald's.
Sorry, not
Okay.
let's go the other direction, above McDonald's pastry.
I like the sound of that better.
There we go. Yeah, it's a quality muffin.
That old man really knows how to make a muffin.
I'm definitely coming back here on the way and getting
He
up
never
one of these on the way back.
Have you never tried Jar's muffins before?
No, this one. I'll just happily walk down the street, just with it. I'll like not even looking where I'm going. I'm just like, you have to guide me through the street with this thing in front of my face.
I need. What is y'all's passive perception? Toward yours is not gonna work for this.
11.
11.
10.
10. It takes you a little bit to figure out, but suddenly a small crowd of children start to surround you, and they're just fascinated with the fact that this muffin's so massive, and Torg is just diving into it. Big crumb pieces are falling off the ends, and the little kids are all fighting each other who's going to get the giant crumbs from this giant muffin, and you kind of hear them cheering, "Half-orc man! Half-orc man!" as you guys are walking down the street.
I'm gonna. You said it was a 3-layer?
Yeah, it's a 3-layer muffin, yeah.
I'm gonna take the top 2 layers off and give them the bottom layer, and then I'm gonna keep walking with the 2 layers.
Chocolate chip muffin! Chocolate chip muffin! And they all just start cheering as they walk off in a different direction, as they're now like all having to brace it together to kind of just bounce it down the street. Go ahead and take a point of inspiration there, Mr. Torg.
Sweet.
And if you need to, you can save it for Lucas if you'd like to.
Alright.
We really need to get down to the docks now, though. I don't want that ship to leave before we have a chance to scout it out.
Oh yeah, the ship.
Arlo's still just tinkering with this thing. He's like, yeah, whatever you say, man. That's great.
We're on it. The A game.
This is the A team. You got the best team here, Mr. Crew. You're totally gonna survive this encounter. You make your way down to the dock area, and it's, you know, we talked about it being beachy and kind of cleaned up and everything before. Now it's just more, you know, there's kind of shells are all over the beach. The nasty bubble things from the seawater are kind of sitting on the beach, and it's got that weird smell that you can't quite tell if that's just seagull droppings or just nastiness from the ocean, but it's there. There's kind of a trash pile on the beach of like barrels and boxes and different things, but you do find V. She's sitting in a beach chair, foot propped up on a barrel, and has got some sort of strange dark glasses on her eyes.
V.
Well, hey, you made it, crew. I was getting a little worried that you were gonna not listen to Matthew again.
No, I do not like that guy.
Oh, he's harmless. You know that.
I know he talks a big game, but there's just something so slimy about him.
He's just mastered the skills, that's all. He tell you about the big game?
Yeah, he sent us down here to talk to you about it. So, is that the ship? I'm gonna kind of point over towards the harbor.
Yeah, you point, and there is several pirates that are coming out this large, giant ship. Like, this is the biggest one you've seen in port in a long time. It's a very interesting design because you can tell that it's got the wood paneling all around it that seems to be kept nice and neat and clean. But even then, on the outside of that paneling, there's almost like a old dinosaur or dragon, you're not quite sure, like a rib cage that kind of goes around the base of this boat. I mean, it's impressive how well in shaped it is because it's still floating in the water, but this giant bone rib cage is kind of going on around the bottom there. And you see the mouth of, now you can kind of tell is either an adult or older dragon, kind of propped open, and as if someone decided to shove this boat into the skeleton of this dragon, and it just sits perfectly. All the way to the back, the tail kind of just sits off the end and kind of floats in the water and waves back and forth.
So is the ram pole on the front through the mouth of the dragon? Is that what you were describing?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Arlo's like, holy crap, man. That thing's intimidating.
Each of the bones have, at the top, there are bodies sprawled upon them, as if like their kills are hanging off and blood is dripping down them still. The crow's nest has kind of netting that kind of goes in all directions that connect to these different bone pieces, and you're looking. There is a knoll that seems to be cleaning off one of the bone pieces at the back end. He's missing an eye and seems pretty grumpy and upset about the whole situation, but it seems like it's his task for the day to be scraping off and cleaning up the bones, preparing for the next adventure. You can see captains on the front, and when I say captains, you know they're captains of pirate ships because they're skeletal bodies with captain hats on them and the captain clothing, and it looks like they were tied to the front of the boat, left there to die until they died, and then their bodies just stayed there. Yeah, that's the Bone Raker.
You seen that ship in port before, V?
No, I haven't, but I know the pirate Captain sails on that boat. Saleh, I think it's Captain Saleh.
I said Saleh.
Saleh sounds about right. She's one of those fancy herringon. You don't see them around very much. Crazy from what I hear.
Any info on her or the crew? How long they're going to be staying in town or anything like that?
I've been kind of listening. It sounds like they're coming into port. They just took care of her nephew in some sort of venture that he was on. I guess she kicked him off her ship. Didn't catch his name though. Sounds like they came into town to celebrate for a little bit, but I don't know how long that could be.
Have you seen her get off?
Yeah, she's left the ship. It is currently without a captain, though she does have lieutenants, and there's always a fleet following her somewhere. So we haven't seen them come into dock yet, but I would not be surprised if the rest of the fleet came into town tonight.
So if we're going to do this, we need to do it now or today.
I would advise it, yes. We just need a macguffin. We need something, as you well know, something from the captain's quarters and something from the treasure room.
Arlo's going to make another roll for his little lock-picking thing, if that's cool with you. Oh, sweet. So that's a 22.
22. Yeah, it starts ticking.
So sweet. He's gonna stow that back in his pack, and as though he's just awakened, he's gonna look up. And what's the weather like?
It is a little bit of a hazy day.
Is it hot?
Yes. Is it hot? What is it? Summer, winter, fall, Mr. Crew? You've been there for about a year.
I would say it's probably spring going into summer.
So it is a little warm. It's probably early morning, so you're looking at like 69, 70s are starting to come in.
Sweet. So yeah, so in the same way that like kind of a savant autistic person, which is kind of how I would describe Arlo would, it's like he looks up from that project and it's like he's awakened to everything that's been happening around him for the last 2 hours, and he's like, I don't want to deny you meatheads the opportunity to bash as many heads as possible in, but if we're going to do this now, we might try to go up the backside. I bet the windows on the captain's cabin are open, and maybe we, I knew this Captain Sparrow one time. I saw him do this cool thing where he flipped a canoe over, tied some rocks to that bad boy, and walked underwater with it. Then you pull the strings on the rocks and you float up. And I bet we could climb the backside of that sucker straight in the window. As though this all just came to him all of a sudden.
That sounds
Crew
like
is just gonna deadpan stare at him like this man is crazy.
That's a fact. Even though he doesn't hear anything.
I was not nodding along like this is the best thing ever, and then Crew says that's terrible. And I'm like, oh yeah.
I never said it was terrible. I just gave him a look.
Oh.
Well, it sounds like you have some sort of plan to get you guys started. I'll leave you to it. Do you have any other questions for me? Otherwise, I'm going to get my tan on.
No, V, I think we'll leave you to it. Come on, boys. Let's go over to the shade for a minute and hash out a plan.
All right.
Walk on over to a palm tree with shade.
Crew is gonna grab a stick and just start, to use it to draw in the sand. So you're saying we can create an air pocket under the water, get to the front of the ship?
Yeah. If we put enough weight on the canoe, you don't want something too big, because you're only talking about a 15 to 20 minute walk anyway. Make sure you tie it with non-binding knots so you can yank the stones off whenever it's time. Float up to the backside of the boat, and then we probably need to go get some little pickaxes. That way you can climb the backside of the boat, hopefully get in the windows. I hope she doesn't like it stuffy, because otherwise the windows might not be open. But chances are on a day like today, got the windows open.
I have some rope. Maybe we could use those weird dragon ribs to climb up with, so we don't have to go back into town and get climbing stuff.
Oh yeah, great idea. Probably climb right up the tail.
Hey, we can see the boat from where we are. There's a gangway? Is there guards or people getting on and off the boat? Like, what's the activity look like around the boat?
I mean, there are pirates moving on the boat. It looks like none of the big wigs are on there. Like, there's nobody on there giving them commands. They kind of know what their job is and what they're expected to do. So they are cleaning things and making things look nicer and newer, and it's almost like she's crazy, where she's got all this blood and nasty crazy nonsense going on around her boat, but she wants everything pristine and perfect. And so it looks like that's what these pirates are doing, is making sure everything looks super nice and shiny and on point. You even see they got a halfling kind of hanging off the side, and he's got a bucket of paint, and he's almost like touching up the scuffed areas, as well as repainting the name Bone Raker on the side. You've got a couple of flying creatures. It looks like some tieflings that can fly, and a couple of dragonborn that can fly, and it seems like they're kind of flying around the top, around the crow's nest a little bit, but also kind of going from end to end. It's got 3 of those big poles that go along the way there, so they're kind of jumping from place to place, making sure that all the sails are well taken care of. Wow, I forgot that word for a long time.
Yeah, on the construction of most old school sail ships like that, the captain's quarters, the cabin will obviously overhang the bevel of the backside of the ship a little bit, where it creates kind of a blind spot down there. Can we see that? Is that what it looks like for this one?
Yes, and okay. It's nice because it seems like the only spot where the bone is not covering around the back of the ship. It's almost like she intentionally wants to be able to look behind her if she wanted to.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
There are all the cannon doors are closed right now, but you can definitely see a bunch of cannon doors along the side as well.
So up at the captain's quarters, do we see windows, I'm assuming?
Well, so again, the front of the boat is facing in port, so you can kind of see the captain's windows a little bit kind of hanging off the back, but you can't see the whole back of the boat unless you were to get out there, look behind it.
Let's say climbing up the ribs of this dragon on the front would be pretty obvious to anybody walking around.
Yeah, Arlo will look at his cannon. He's like, if you guys got enough rope, I'm pretty sure I could rig something up where we shoot it up and climb our way up from the backside, if that's an option.
I got some rope here. Y'all have any?
Yeah, I've got an engineer's pack, so there's got to be some rope in there.
Yeah, rope.
Torg, make an intelligence check for me.
Six.
It's a word that starts with the letter R. That's about all you know about it.
So let's get going. I think we'll probably have to go into the captain's quarters first, and then to the treasure room. What it sounds.
Maybe we can just walk down the dock and see the back of the boat. Would people care that we walk by it? I could grab a fishing pole and make it look like I'm fishing at the end of the dock, and then scope out the back of the boat.
Torg, have you ever been fishing before?
I've seen people do it.
Arlo will be like, well, we should be able to find boulders and probably a canoe we can jack right here close by. So even if we decide there's a better way, we should still be able to get behind the boat stealthily if we want to use that original idea I had.
I like it.
I say we do it. As much as I hate getting wet, I say let's do it. So, crew is going to start looking around the beach. Is there any canoes that he sees?
Yeah, it looks like there might be a canoe or a boat in that junk pile that's kind of tossed up on the beach there.
I'm gonna walk over and grab the canoe and bring it over to us. I found our canoe.
Yeah, we'll
Looks
need
fine.
about 6 20-pound stones, roughly the same size. So I'll start looking for stones.
Make an inspection check for stones.
Inspection check for stones. Let's see. Inspection. Investigation.
Yeah.
Okay. Natural 20. No. 14 plus 3, 17.
17. Okay. You start turning your head. There are 2 large stones that are attached to Torg's body, and then you keep turning your body around as you're looking around for actual stones. But you do find some. There are plenty around. So.
All right. Yeah. So. As soon as Arlo.
Okay, I was wondering if anybody caught on. I was like,
I
man.
got that. We're keeping this PG, okay?
Oh, okay, my bad.
Adjust my furs a little.
I was say like peering up under the Spartan skirt over there. Or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so Arlo will help move like the first stone, but he's like got a -1 to strength, so he's gonna like as soon as he gets one over there, he's gonna go to work tying knots and making sure we have the right knots tied to be able to release these things. So, and he's gonna wait on the other guys to bring the other 5. Yeah, for sure. Can I do sleight of hand? Does that work?
I'll take sleight of hand.
Sweet, that would be great.
For our Boy Scouts and our listeners, what knots are you tying?
So that's going to be 16 plus 1 plus 2, so 19 total. And I will tie non-jamming slip knots, which can be like half hitch. There's several different kinds, but basically something that's going to be sturdy, but that there is definitely a clear tail that when we get back there I can pull, and those will fall and we'll start to rise.
After Arlo gets back with his stone, I'm gonna see exactly what he's talking about, and then start investigating the beach myself to find matching ones.
Okay, yeah, make an investigation check.
16.
16. You do find a couple stones as well. One kind of looks like a giant ammonite shell.
Either you boys into fossils?
Are they worth a lot of money?
Not this one.
Then no.
Borg, find any?
What am I doing?
Apparently playing with the stones.
I was just sitting there watching you do whatever it was you were doing.
Crew's just gonna turn, walk over to V. I quit.
Can't work under these conditions.
Where are we getting these new recruits?
Yeah, you want me to get some
we're
stones?
finding rocks. Yeah, we're trying to find some rocks that look like this. I'm gonna hold up one of the ones that I found.
Yeah. Alright, I'll go find some, and I'll wander around searching for a rock that size.
Do you want to make a check, or do you just want to start kicking the sand until a rock appears?
I'll make a check. I'll make a check. Is it... Natural 20.
Natural 20, nice! Yeah, finding rocks is your favorite game. You found lots of rocks. Some with crabs in them, some that look like giant bird eggs, some that are heavy, some that you could throw and hit Arlo in the back of the head with when he's not looking. But you found plenty of rocks.
I was gonna say, I pictured we're having that crazy conversation, then I turned around, and as soon as I turned back around, there's like 10 stones sitting there.
So I was envisioning, I'll just armful, just dump it.
This is my pretty one. good.
I just imagine
Yep.
him. He's got his big old great axe, and he's going out and on the beach. He goes 4. Pah! Hits one rock over and he just slides toward Arlo. 4. Pah!
Arlo, how's those knots? Ow! How are those knots coming?
We're getting there. We're getting there. Tell him not to hit me with one of those things, man.
Org, thanks for
Uh,
finding them.
Yeah, you want help with the knots?
I'm good. I'm good. I got the nuts.
Okay.
Perfect. Yeah, you'll get your knots nice and tied, nice and neat. They're tied to these rocks. You got your big fancy boat. What do you do with the rocks and the rope in the boat?
So I'm going to show them how they're going to lift it from both ends with it upside down still with the rocks tied on. And as they're lifting it, I'm going to run in the center and jump up and hang on to the seats, because I'm not tall enough to actually walk while they're walking this thing. So I'm going to climb up in there.
Your legs just like sitting there
Yeah,
flapping.
just kind of dangling and flapping. And I'm like, all right, boys, take her down. And so then get them to start walking off the beach into the water and in the general heading of the Bone Crusher.
I'm gonna take the front. Let Torg take the back since it's heavier at the back once we get the water.
Perfect. You guys start making your way inside. You are impressed. This is working much better than you thought it was going to. In fact, it's odd because definitely like your waist down is wet, crew, but your shoulders and stuff that's kind of holding the boat, it's dry. It's really odd to you that there's this air pocket that seems to happen in place here.
And oh yeah, good. Sorry.
There are lots of little fishes that are swimming around you. In fact, they are close enough for you to grab if you would like to grab a fish.
We'll be holding onto the boat, and as they swim up, I'll be like, just like,
What are you doing?
And,
Dancing the tango back there?
Kim, I do not like you giving our barbarian ideas.
I'm just saying, there's fish. There's a crab that crawls over Torg's foot for a second. But he's like swaying back and forth back there.
Every few minutes as we are making progress in order to make sure we're staying on, because the goggles I wear are like the adjustable binocular goggles, so I can do my little tinkering and stuff. So I'll kind of pop my head out, take a breath, and kind of adjust for light and everything to try to make sure that we're just not to try to see any detail, but generally make sure we're heading towards the big massive ship that's towards the back of it.
Awesome. Yeah, make me a point of direction check. I would say intelligence or wisdom.
Like an intelligence saving throw? Would that be appropriate?
Not the saving throw, just a check.
Just to check. Got it. Okay.
Mm.
So 17 total. 14 plus 3.
14 plus 3. Yeah, you are able to see the ship well, and with your intelligence, you're able to communicate effectively which direction you should go. So there's a barbarian that is swinging his body back and forth back there. How are you guys making sure that you're heading in the right direction? How are you communicating this to you?
So I'll just since crew's up front, if we're needing to make an adjustment, I'll just be like, hey, freeze, now take like 4 side steps to the right, take 2 side steps to the left, and then let him start walking forward after we've made the directional adjustment. And I'll just do that every couple of minutes until we're making our way, until we get in position, I guess.
Eventually, you guys get to the spot where you need to, where you kind of see the bottom of the tail, and you kind of going back and forth above you, kind of swaying in the water. And as you're getting ready to show them how to release the rocks so you guys can start floating up, a little sea lion pops his head up and starts looking around, and gets right in Mr. Torg's face.
I'm gonna punch
Shoo,
it.
get out of here!
You're gonna punch it?
Yeah.
No, just shoo it. Sea lions aren't aggressive, especially if it's a baby.
I'm punching it.
Okay.
Make me an unarmed strike.
No. 9.
Nope. Yeah, it dodges out of his way and it claps its hands a couple of times and then it gets in your face again like a dog. Just keeps like it's trying to sniff you a little bit.
Or just ignore it. It's gonna make too much noise. We're gonna get spotted.
He's like visibly like trying to back away, but still hold on to the boat.
I'll make an animal handling check to try to get rid of it.
All right. It's while you're doing that, it's going to make a lick attack against Torg.
A
Ghost Pokemon?
lick attack?
A lick?
He goes out with his tongue and he licks. Is a 24 hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get licked just straight up and down on the face. Just a straight, wet sea lion lick. And it claps his hands again.
This one has like one of those cat tongues. You actually take one.
Right.
of scratching
Die.
So,
Level 1.
So Arlo's still hanging onto the seat. He's gonna like, I rolled a 14. I'm gonna like reach down and grab a crab real quick. Be like, hey, look at the crabby, go get the crab, and throw it down.
Did you roll for your
Even 14.
even 14? Okay. Animal handling, you said?
Yep.
Yeah, it's super excited about this crab, and it swims down, and a few seconds before it grabs the crab and tries to bring it back to you.
All right, boys, make sure you hang on to the seat. Pull the tails.
I hate the ocean.
That's basically the directions. So as soon as I see them holding on and reaching up, then pull, and so we'll pull the tails and let the rocks fall.
Okay. You pull the tails and let the rocks fall, and as you guys are rising up, we will begin to end this scene as you watch the sea lion swimming up behind you with a crab in his mouth.
We even get close to the before you that.
Yes, yeah, you start getting close to the tail.
Yeah. He described that we were able to clearly see the tail bobbing up above us. So
So you are going to make it to the tail. There's just now a sea lion that's following you with a crab in his mouth.
Mm.
But the scene will be set for next time. Until then, as always, my name's Jason Sketch. This is the Tale of the Fates, and next time, I'll be deadly serious next time.
Next time we'll have a pet sea.
Yeah.
Peace.
peace.
Can end the recording.
I do what I want.